Not very good. Just in case she needs, anything. Doesn't work or anything. Well, hello. I'm so excited to be talking to you today. My name is Amy Allgood. I'm a national sales director here in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I know that we just have crazy weather going on all over the world right now. I was hoping to get here and not get no tornadoes. We're having those. I know that there's blizzards, but I just thank you for kind of tuning in today. Somebody definitely saw some great qualities in you and wanted you to hear why they love their Mary Kay business so much. And I get to share a little bit about my journey over the last 11 years and hopefully just inspire you today to want to go out there and do something great with your life, whether it ends up to be Mary Kay or something else. I just hope that you are inspired to want to live a life of purpose and life of intention. Well, the other thing I really wanted to ask you today is, are you living a life that's good? Are you living a life that's great? And I think most of the people in America today, most of us are living a good life. It's good. We can pay our bills. We have a little extra to shop or to do some fun things on the weekend. But are we settling for good when we could be having a great or an extraordinary life? So 11 years ago, I would say I was somebody who was living a good life. I was in corporate America making really good money in my early 20s, right out of college. And I was, working all the time, but I didn't mind. It was fun. I'd go out on the weekend in Fort Lauderdale, go to the boat, go to the beach, and it was good. Life was good. But I just started after a couple months of working there. There was just something unwrestling. I was restless. I just kind of felt like there was this giant on the inside. There was more to give life. I felt I was called to do more. There was more purpose. Even though on the outside, on paper, I was making good money. It looked good. I knew that I wanted more. So I don't know if you've ever felt like that. Maybe you're feeling like that right now, but I was just kind of feeling stuck and frustrated. And I just thought, man, is this really what I'm going to have to look forward to the next 40 years of my life? And that just didn't seem exciting or happy. There was something, and I think anytime in your life that you're feeling this unrestlessness, there's something to that. So around that time, I was actually out of town. I ran into a girlfriend from college, and she started telling me about Mary Kay. And I'll be honest, when she first shared with me that, I did not really think that this was going to be something for me. But as she started telling me the philosophy of faith, family, career, and how you can impact people's lives, and then there's more women earning a six-figure income and who are millionaires than any other company, I was like, wow, I was impressed. I was impressed because the thing that I did want out of a career was to make a lot of money and to make an impact. And to be honest with you, I'd never really seen a career that you could do both. I saw lots of careers you could make a lot of money, but sacrifice, your values or your time. And then I saw things that you could make a difference and an impact, but you were broke pretty much. So I really thought, wow, this is worth a shot. And I'll be honest, at 23 years old, I was thinking, for $100, what do I have to lose? Why not just give it a try and see where it could go? That was honestly my attitude. I think so many times we think so hard as women. We worry, we analyze, we think, we make a list, we ask 500 people's opinion. And I'm so grateful that looking back, I didn't do that until after I started. And I just said, hey, what do I have to lose? And my dad always raised me that way to say, you'll never know anything in life until you try it. It's true with anything, right? You've probably had things in your past that you surprised. You thought I was going to love it, then you didn't love it, or you surprised yourself. You thought, I had no idea I was going to like this. Or there's a sport, an activity, a hobby. I remember, one of my biggest fears was, what is it called? Not snorkeling, but scuba diving. And my husband loved that. And so it was one of the coolest experiences, that I had, and to get over that fear. And now I'm so grateful that I did try that. to be able to do that. So I did give it a try. And, I think there was things that I was kind of nervous about when I first got started. I think my biggest fear was that I didn't know a lot of people. I thought, how in the world am I going to build a business? I don't know a lot of women. The industry that I was working in corporate America, I was working with builders and contractors and plumbers, mostly men. So I thought, how in the world am I going to, meet these women? I remember them saying, make a list of 3 women or make a list of all the women you know. And I literally could think of 3 people. But they said, I'll teach you. We'll teach you how to do that. And I really believe a lot of my success today is based on being teachable and being coachable. And the other thing is I was really busy. I was working 70 hours. I had an hour commute to and from work. So I literally left in the dark, came home in the dark. By the time I worked out and made dinner, watched American Idol, went to bed, it was like I was doing it all over again. But I want to tell you that the woman on the call, when my girlfriend told me about it, she said, Amy, get on this call driving home. And what I heard on that call, I'll tell you, that really changed my life a lot. And really, I think was why I decided to do this, is she said to me, and I want to ask you the same question today. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And although I didn't know exactly what that looked like, the one thing I knew for sure was I didn't want to wake up in the same shoes. I didn't want to wake up at the same job with the same, dreading where am I going to be in 40 years with the same people around. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to really just try this for a year and see where this could go for me. And that was really very, very powerful to me. And I think so many times today we think about, well, I don't know where I'm going to be. I can't think that far out. When someone says, and if you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, if that's what you're thinking right now, I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. You're going to actually, your life will look pretty much exactly the way that it does today. So if you want your life to look better, whether that's, financially or with your schedule or with just who you are as a person, then it really is going to take you making some different decisions and to be, living life differently. And maybe you've been hoping, praying for something or, thinking some of those things that I shared. And to be honest, it's not by accident that somebody shared this with you. I mean, I hope that you're really open to that, to really see where this could possibly go. And the other thing I think that I was nervous about, other than being very busy, and at the time, not only with my work schedule, but I was planning my wedding, which was out of town. So I was back and forth traveling out of town doing that. And I was actually getting ready to move about an hour away. And I was changing job positions within my company. So I had a lot, I had a lot on my plate doing that. So I really started it very, very part-time. And in my first month, I was able to sell $3,000, which means I made $1,500. And that was probably working 5 hours a week. And I don't know anywhere else that you could get a part-time job, work 5 hours a week and make $1,500 extra a month. That was amazing. So I saw right away that it really, really, really did work. And then, of course, I was just, got busy. Life was happening and I was planning my wedding and in love and all that good stuff. And then something significant happened, in my life that made me kind of look at my business a little bit more seriously. There was a woman at work in corporate America who I really admired and looked up to and thought I really wanted her life and her position. And she got pregnant. And after she came home, or after she came back to work, after being on maternity leave, after 2 weeks, she quit. And I was shocked. I could not believe she quit. And I can remember saying to her, how are you quitting? You're making 6 figures, all this. And I'll never forget, she looked at me and she said, get out while you can. What? Get out while you can. And she said to me, I can't be the mom. I want to be working here. And when she said those words to me, something resonated in me because although I wasn't married yet, I didn't have children yet, I knew one day I was going to be in that position, that one day I would have to make those choices. And I want to kind of, fast forward 5 years after I started Mary Kay, what had happened. And right around 5 years after I joined Mary Kay, I had my first child, and she was born premature. And during that time, it was a very challenging time in my life. She was on 3 weeks of 100% oxygen. She could not breathe on her own. She had to have breathing tubes. I could not touch her or hold her for 3 weeks. Finally, when we got past that, there was other complications, and she ended up being in the hospital for 2 months. And I am so grateful that I chose this 5 years, before that, when I didn't need Mary Kay at that time in my life, but I was thinking about my future. And I think the reason that when I heard that woman say, where do you want to be in 5 years, that God knew that I was going to need this then. And so something in my gut said, just do it, just do it. And at that time, thankfully, because I had a plan B, and then I had worked this and built this business up when that happened. During those 2 months when she was in the hospital, Mary Kay sent me an $8,000 check and a $12,000 check. I was not working. I held 0 appointments. I wasn't doing any of my trainings for my team. But the Mary Kay sisterhood, they all came together and rallied together for me. So I'm so grateful thinking about that. So I just challenge you, don't wait till that crisis in your life happens, because they say we'll go through, every 10 years, you're going to go through a crisis, and you might need that freedom. And I'm so passionate about that, because I don't want women to have regret. And I know in life we're all going to have regret, but I hope to have as little as possible. And so I'm passionate about helping other women to have as little as possible. And so I think the only way to do that was with freedom, and to have some flexibility in designing your life and being your boss, being your own boss. So I really find that today there's 3 main reasons that women would start a Mary Kay business. One is that freedom that I just talked about, making those choices. And yeah, sometimes for those big things, but even on a day-to-day basis, I love walking my children in the morning, having breakfast with them every morning, taking them to school, volunteering if I want. I'm getting ready to go out of town for 10 days. I'm going to be going to my parents' house and bringing my kids. I'm going to go speak at a retreat. I'm going to see friends. I'm going to stay then with one of my, best friends, and go to an event for myself, and then back to see, my parents. And I just love that, not having to ask permission or ask how many hours or how many days, how many weeks do I get to take off. I could really design that. I think the other reason that people start a Mary Kay business today is money. And if you probably look at your life right now, you all need money for something, right? So, it was wedding for me when I got started, and now it's kids or vacations or different little things. But really to have that extra income, to be able to come in for yourself. And so if you're not really sure where this would go, maybe you could be like me and just say, hey, I'm going to give it a try for a year and see what would happen. And so I think the money, the freedom, that's obvious. But the third reason that I think women love and fall in love with Mary Kay and choose this as a career is because of the training and the personal development that comes along with it. And you might be thinking, well, how in the world do you do that with cosmetics? Well, I can tell you, as somebody who trains in the company now, as this position is 99% of what we're training on has to do with personally developing yourself. So if you honestly would want to be a better mom, a better friend, a better Christian, a better wife, just more confident, more passionate, more energetic, more on purpose, I can say with every fiber in my being, from the bottom of my heart to you, I don't know there anywhere else on this planet that you could grow more personally as a woman, and to be in an environment of women supporting women, and for a mentor to come alongside of you, not someone to be your boss, but somebody to literally come alongside you and say, I want to do life with you. I want to know about your dreams and your goals and your vision. I just came from an appointment where I met with one of my new consultants at Starbucks. And we just talked about her vision and her hopes and what's important to her and her husband and her kids. And I mean, it's just amazing that this Mary Kay journey can be able to do that. And so I truly believe with all my heart that every woman, if she did Mary Kay for a year of her life, this world would be a better place. People would be kinder to other people. And the greatest thing, I can really tell you is that, for those of you that are moms, when you're living a life more on purpose and with more intention, and your kids see that, you will change generations. You will change generations. So you can leave a legacy. I find that a lot of people are either having a lot of excuses in their life, or they're very passionate to leave a legacy. And for $100, I mean, how could you not give it a try and just see where it could go for you? Unless you could say, Amy, I'm 100% happy with every area of my life, with my finances, with my freedom, with my personal development, with my girlfriends, because these women are amazing. These women are so phenomenal. And you just don't get that anywhere else. And I just want to close with saying, I recently heard a little cute story, and I think so much of how our life is going to unfold, it truly is the environment that we're in, and who are those 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with the most. And if you've never done this, I just want to challenge you to write down the 5 women. Write down the 5 women that you know, and put either a plus sign, a minus sign, or a 0 next to their name. Are those people adding value? That would be a plus sign. A minus, are they taking away? Or a 0 is just neutral. They're not really adding or taking away. And if you can find yourself and have 5 people with plus signs, you're blessed. You're truly, truly blessed. I know that you could find that in the Mary Kay environment. So the story talks about there's chickens and there's eagles in this world. And they took an eagle and they put them in a pen with chickens. And all of a sudden, after spending time with the chickens, the eagle became a chicken. It was acting like a chicken. It was eating like a chicken. It was walking like a chicken. And when they tried to set it free and say, hey, go fly, you're free, it couldn't do it and forgot. That eagle had turned into a chicken. So be careful, because many of you are probably eagles. You're called to do something great. You have that giant on the inside like I talked about. But maybe you've been in an environment of chickens, and it's time for you to soar again. It's time for you to spread your wings, to remind yourself of dreaming. And that's what Mary Kay does for women. It reminds women what those little girl dreams are. This is just a vehicle. It's not about cosmetics, ladies. This is about a dream for women. Whatever your dreams and goals are, Mary Kay wanted to give women an opportunity, a vehicle. The cosmetic is our vehicle to live out those dreams. And so somebody invited you to be on this today, and I just want you to call them and share and call them back, text them back, communicate after you've listened to this. And there is a password, which I'm going to get to you in just a second. And the password is going to be dreams. Password is dreams. And you're going to share that with them. And the other thing I want you to share with them is you'll share them the password. The second thing is I want you to share with them, out of everything you heard today, what appealed to you the most? What kind of struck a chord with you personally? The next thing I want you to share with them is a quality that you feel you possess that would help you to be great at something like this. And then lastly, I just want you to share with them, you know what? It's worth $100 to give this a try. And if it's not for you, who do you know that this could be a blessing to their life? Well, it was great speaking with you. Thank you for taking some time out of your life to listen in. And God's blessings to you. And I hope that all your dreams come true. Bye.